here. Oh, I forgot Instagram. Let me get Instagram going. All right, welcome to everybody on YouTube. Welcome to everybody on Facebook. Welcome to anybody watching on TikTok. Welcome to everybody on Instagram. Hello and welcome. My name is Otis Landerholm. Welcome here to another episode of Deportation Defense Live. All right. Here today, it's the 15th of February. We're talking about deportation defense as we do every week, Tuesday, 10 a.m. and Pacific time. And today, as we talk deportation defense, we're going to talk about the appeals process. How do you appeal a case in immigration court? All right. And so welcome and thank you for being here. Remember, at the Deportation Defense Live, we are here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants who are facing deportation to make the most out of immigration law, to make the most out of their lives, and to win their cases. I said it, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you. Thank you for being here. Are you facing removal in immigration court? Do you know someone who's facing removal proceedings in immigration court? If so, you know it's not easy. It is an uphill battle. The laws are against us. And in our office, we are here to maximize your chances of winning that case. And so thank you so much for being here. Today, our theme is the appeals process. All right? And just to give everybody a heads up, we've got like a technical issue today. I don't have access. So if people have asked questions, all right, if people have asked questions and submitted them ahead of time, I currently do not have access to those questions. I apologize for that in advance. We will answer those questions at some point in the future, but I don't currently have access if you've asked them ahead of time. So, if you're watching and if you're here with me right now, hey, send me your questions. I'd love to answer your questions, all right? We've got 30 minutes to discuss this topic in English. If we have questions, I'll answer them. If we don't, we won't. And then we'll do this episode in Spanish, okay? So there we go. There we go. Remember, we're talking about the appeals process. And so as we do that, as always, we got to start with the basics. All right, we got to start with the basics, everybody. What are the basics? So first of all, what happens when a person loses their case in immigration court? All right, what happens? Do you know? Here's what it is. When a person loses their case in immigration court, the judge will deny whatever application they were looking at, whether it's asylum or cancellation of removal or adjustment of status or whatever it was, all right? They'll deny that application, and then they will issue an order of deportation, all right? And that's what the judge will do. They'll say such and such applications are denied, and our client is ordered deported to whatever their country of origin is, okay? And then what? All right? Here's what I tell everyone. If a judge is against us, and if a judge issues an order of deportation against us, which hopefully does not happen, but if it does happen, which it sometimes does, everybody, is the person automatically deported? Does a person leave their trial in like handcuffs, getting on a plane to get deported to their home country? No, that does not happen, all right? People aren't deported right away, even if they lose. They're not deported right away, and here's why. Everybody has 30 days to submit an appeal, all right? Everybody has the option of filing an appeal to say, yo, this judge got it wrong, all right? Everybody has the right to do that, and because of that, nobody leaves a deportation hearing and is literally deported that day. It doesn't happen, all right? Unless you're detained and unless you consciously waive appeal for some reason. Some people are tired of being detained and they're like, hey, I know I don't have much of a case. I know the appeal process is going to be long and expensive and blah, blah, blah. I'd rather go back to my country. So that's a different situation. But the bottom line is people who lose in immigration court are not automatically deported. Everyone has 30 days to submit an appeal, and you want to take advantage of that. And now hold on for a second, because people also have the right and the option of filing something called a motion to reopen, all right, which sometimes can be a better option than appealing. And so, but either way, you've got 30 days to make that choice, all right, and you could still file the appeal within those 30 days. The motion to reopen can even be filed after the 30 days in some instances. And so, anyway, it's always smart to start with a consultation. We can discuss what happened. We can do that first, and then we can be fully empowered in the decision that we decide to make. Got it? Now, the other thing that I want to say, and everybody needs to be aware of this, all right? The United States Constitution, all right? The United States Constitution guarantees the right to due process of law to each person, to every person, to all people in the United States, not just to U.S. citizens. Got it? So even if you're undocumented, all right, this is important. Even if you're undocumented, it doesn't matter what your status is. You have the right to due process of law, guaranteed by the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Okay? And because of that, you have the right to appeal your case. You can challenge what the judge said. You've got the right to due process. You can appeal. You can keep fighting. This is like a constitutional right. You don't want to just be, you don't want to be willy-nilly about it, as we say. You don't want to just ignore it. It's a huge deal. But please don't go through the appeals process alone. Don't go through the appeals process alone. Okay, but what is that process? And really it's okay, what are the steps? How do you appeal an immigration case? How do you appeal an immigration case? Step 1, you file a notice of appeal to the Board of Immigration Appeals. Step 2, they'll send you a receipt saying they received it. Step 3, they'll send you a briefing schedule. All right? They'll send you, hey, your brief is due on this date. The government's response is due by this date. That's what the briefing schedule is. And when they send it out, they'll send a typed up, written document of all of the transcripts from all of your hearings. Okay? Once that briefing schedule is in, now it's game time. Now it's game time. And step 4 is your legal team has to review all those transcripts in the record, has to review all the evidence that was submitted in the record, and we got to start writing our legal brief, our legal arguments, explaining every single possible error that the judge made in his or her analysis of your case, and we've got to explain how that affected your case. All right? That legal brief is the big deal. All right? That is the argument. That is the time to shine. That is what makes or breaks your appeal process. Step 5 is after you've submitted your brief, the government is going to read your brief and is going to read the transcripts and the record of the case. And then they're going to respond, and they're going to be like, nope, your brief is wrong. The person's wrong. They're going to be fighting against you at every single point that you've made. Step 6 is optional, but I always recommend it. You can reply to the government's response. All right? And step 7, the BIA, the Board of Immigration Appeals, is going to review all of that stuff, and they're going to issue a decision, and it'll be in writing, and they'll say whether or not they agree with you, whether or not they agree with the government, whether they're going to send the case back to the judge, whether they're going to grant your case, whether they're going to deny your case, all right? And then finally, if you lose there, all right, step 8 would be, if it's necessary, if you lost before the BIA, then you can, and you got the right to due process of law, so you have the right to appeal the decision again, and you can appeal it again. We call it a petition for review. You can appeal again to the United States Circuit Court, which is a big deal, and you do have the right to do it. And anyway, that's the process. Those are the 8 steps in the appeal process. And if you are successful with it, you can get the case remanded. They call it sent back to the immigration court, or you can just get the case reversed and approved in your favor. Okay? So now let me ask, how do you maximize your chances of winning that thing? If you're in the appeal process, how do you win? How do you maximize your chances of winning? It's not easy to win, all right? Typically, an immigration judge at the appeal level is going to be like, hey, I don't want to, the immigration judge at the lower level actually saw the person, they were there in the courtroom. I'm just basing everything on paper, right? And so it's like, often the appeals court, they will not overturn, right? It's hard. It's an uphill battle to win once you're at the appeal level. So how do you maximize your chances of winning on appeal? All right? First, your brief needs to be detailed and persuasive. That legal brief is key. You want an expert attorney writing the appeal brief on your behalf. That brief is the main piece of it. All right? Legal briefs, they are not, there's an art and a science to it. All right? There's no one-size-fits-all brief. There's no, don't do this on your own. Please, don't. All right? The vast majority of people that file their own appeals lose them. Okay? So don't be in that category. You want an expert attorney to be writing the brief on your appeal case. Okay? In the appeal process, you don't have any hearings to go to. You don't have to present yourself anywhere. It's all done on paper. Okay? But here's the thing to know about, right? If you're working with a lawyer, and if you can just tell, right, your lawyer is stressed, and they're rushed, and they're disorganized, if that's the personality of your attorney, they're not going to be a good attorney on an appeal case. Because strong appeals take time. They take organization. They take clarity. They take thought. All right? And it's not easy to win on appeal. Most appeals lose. And because of this, really, I recommend you hire a group of professionals who have a team dedicated to the appeals process. And that's how to maximize your chances of success in the appeals process. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about it. That's all I'm going to say about it. And so, thank you. Shout out to those who are joining me on Instagram. Rich E. Medina, hello. Welcome. Fred in America, hello. Welcome on Instagram. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Ikins, hello. You say, hello, bro. Hi. Good to see you on YouTube. Christopher, hello. Jatine, hello. Thank you for being here, everybody, and thanks for your questions. It looks like I've just got one question here in the chat here today, and that is from Jatine. So thank you. If anybody else is seeing this and you have a question, hey, send it over. But Jatine, I see your question. You say, we applied for a U visa in 2017. How long is it taking for me to get a work permit? Jatine, great question. You are not alone in that question, all right? And I have done videos on the processing times for U visas, which the U visa itself will take forever. But the new bona fide determination process for your work permit is starting to happen. All right, it is starting to happen. And so what I would expect is, Jatine, first thing to do is make sure that your U visa was complete with the I-918 Supplement B, the certification signed by the police department. Make sure your U visa had the I-918 form in there, and make sure that if you needed an I-192, which is the waiver, all right, if you had any inadmissibility issue, that was submitted with your case as well. And finally, make sure you have a work permit, an I-765, submitted with your U visa. If you've got those 4 things, right, and if you've done your biometrics, which is when the government takes your photo and your fingerprints, then you should be in line for a bona fide status determination work permit. Okay? Again, what are those 4 things? The Supplement B, which is the certification, the I-918, the I-192, if necessary, if you have inadmissibility issues, and the I-765 application for a work permit. If you've got all of those things submitted, those 4 things submitted, and if you went and got your biometrics done already, then you should be in line. You should be ready to have your case adjudicated to at least get you a work card. Our office has been receiving those, all right? And I think we have received those on 2017 cases. And so if you are in line with a properly filed, well-done U visa, you should be in line to start getting a work permit, okay? And, there's thousands and thousands of cases. There's 150,000 cases in the backlog. And so it's like, okay, it is going to take time for those to come out. But as long as it was filed properly, that should be in the works, okay? All right, I think that's all we got. I think that's all we got today. Thank you all so much for being here. It's 10:26. I'm going to start doing this episode in Spanish in just a few minutes. Si usted habla español, que venga con nosotros en unos minutos. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, my name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And we can see you next week, next Tuesday morning, 10 a.m., for another episode of Deportation Defense Live. Thank you all so much. Hey, and do me a favor. If this was useful, share it with somebody. All right, we're trying to grow this. All right? If you know anybody that's in immigration court, please share this with them. And if it was useful, hey, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that notifications bell. And as always, if you've got an immigration case, hey, please give us a call. We are here to help. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. Gracias. We'll see you on the next episode of the Deportation Defense Live. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.